This is Gary Butterfield.
This is Cole Ross.
And this is Monster, my podcast.
And this is the Black Pharaoh.
There's a monster in my podcast.
Not the pasta, and not the game from Deadwood. The Egyptian king.
Something like that. Nope. Set comes later. That is also an Avatar of Nyarlathotep.
And also a game.
Yeah.
And maybe a pasta?
Well, lots of pasta.
I wouldn't be surprised. There are lots of pastas. Good point. You know a favorite pasta?
Fusilli, because it's silly.
It is silly. It's incredibly silly.
Yeah.
F you silly.
Yeah.
I gotta go with shells.
Shells are pretty good.
Yeah, they get a lot of space inside those shells. And that's if we're not counting ravioli.
Ravioli is a different thing. I don't.
Yeah, raviolis are superior.
Like raviolis are like little hot pockets.
Yeah, like delicious little soft, wet hot pockets. Mm-hmm. Imagine just a big pile of wet hot pockets. You know?
Yeah. You ever had a fried ravioli?
Yeah,
it's good stuff.
Hell yeah, good app. Great app.
Yeah.
Speaking of great app. The Black Pharaoh.
The Black Pharaoh shows up, rules Egypt.
Yep, probably destroys it because Nyarlathotep's.
Well,
you know, and he's tall, handsome, and swarthy.
Yes.
I like him. It's pretty funny. So the cult of the Brotherhood of the Black Pharaoh is like a real thing that I have read about because I've read Mask of Nyarlathotep.
Yeah.
The big, huge campaign. Mm-hmm. Pretty fun, and we get to see some cool stuff with this cult. Him as a mythos entity is very funny because he's just like a tall pharaoh who has a fancy ring and rod, and he does dismissive gestures, and then people die. And all I could think about was like Rip Torn, like throwing confetti, like doing like a ha, throwing confetti, and then somebody taking 20 points of damage and withering away.
Yeah, no, it's it's kind of weird because even though he does have he has those options with him, he has the hunting horrors, that appear in the boiling and bending space around
like
him.
Rip Torn does. Yeah.
I think you mean Rip Taylor.
I do.
Yeah, Rip Torn's like a gruff actor, and it's like the idea is him going ha. It's like ha.
But I also might have meant Bruce Valanche.
Bruce Valanche and Rip Taylor occupy a very similar kind of space.
Well, they're both Mask of Nyarlathotep, like if we're being honest.
Well, yeah.
Right? Like there's no way. Bruce Valanche or Harry Knowles. Jesus Christ.
Oh, geez, no.
That's a Mask of Nyarlathotep.
Oh, absolutely. It ain't cool, buddy.
Ain't cool, dude.
Yeah. No. You're thinking of the guy who showed up in Wayne's World 2 and talked about how Jim Morrison was a crooner working in the Rock Milieu.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
It's been too long since I've seen Wayne's World 2.
That holds up.
Yeah, no, I'm sure it does.
Yeah.
So yeah, he dismisses people with his ring, but then he also has two invisible like horrors.
Yeah, and
like the end boss of Resident Evil 4.
But he's got these if you look at his power set, and this is not a long entry, he kind of just seems to be as powerful as just a regular pharaoh.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, with a good ring.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. But it's more that he commands a nation, I think, that makes him important as opposed to anything.
Yes.
Yeah.
He has a connection with Nephron Ka.
Right.
So it's either they're the same person or Nephron Ka might have been a title that he used.
Yeah.
Vice versa or something. Pretty cool. Evil pharaoh.
Yeah.
And I guess I'd be more scared of a pharaoh than like a guy. Pharaoh versus podcaster.
Brought to you by our backers at patreon.com/Duckfeed.tv.